Yes. It worked. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Paranormal Wavelengths. My name is Bob Saintner. I'm the host. Um, I apologize if the sound isn't doing good. I've been testing in here since I got home from work, and it's hit and miss. I don't know if it's my bandwidth or what's going on, but bear with me. I noticed doing the testing after about a minute. I don't know if the bandwidth caught up and got it going. It started to sound a little bit better. I can't believe it's been about 7 years since I've broadcasted live Paranormal studio. We all set up and everything. I kind of went a little I went a little retro here with I was thinking Wayne's World. So, but I'm starting to see on my screen over here, it's saying the devices aren't in now. They installed right the other day. Sound, God, I got like a frog in my throat. That might be why the sound might be a little bit off. AJ, and thank you. I am a sexy beast sometimes, aren't I? But I'm hoping we don't have much tech difficulties, but YouTube live stream can be hit and miss. Kind of like back in the day when I used to broadcast Ustream instead of YouTube, but they were both affiliated. So I'm hoping things will work out here and everything, the sound will come across good in that. If you have any questions, want to be heard in the chat room, I think you either have to subscribe or make your own YouTube page. I'd really love to hear everybody's voice, questions, stories about shadow people and creatures to share with us tonight. And I can kind of see the chat room, see what's going on, but it's hard to read the questions. People start talking in there. But my awesome girlfriend, Tina Duchesne, be watching the chat room for she'll to me private, so it's easier for me to read and keep up. But definitely, if you have questions, chime in. When out investigating, no dumb questions. It's just dumb not to ask a question. I mean, of course, I think I ask a lot of dumb questions, but hey, it never hurts to ask a question. Definitely chime in the chat room if you have any stories or anything you want to talk about. I actually did a little bit of research, which is really weird for me because I'm not usually a research guy. That's why if you ever hear me talking and joking around, with huge fan of Supernatural, and I always say I have Dean's personality. I do not look anything like Dean. I admit that. But my personality is a lot like his. And my friend Rich Valdez with Weird Souls, he's Sammy. Because we always joke around because he's the guy who researches. When we go do investigations and that, he's the guy who gets to look out and does all the research reading. I'm the guy that says, I'll go get the snacks and head out. Because I'm more of an head first. Go straight on to something. Trial and error than that. I know sometimes it can be a little reckless, but it's just my way of doing things. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do a little research, but I'm not a big reader. Well, thank you, Jay. But yeah, that's kind of, if you ever hear me joking around about being Dean from Supernatural. Don't ever mistake me for saying I look like him. And as Jay said, I guess I'm sexier. So thank you, Jay. But yeah, the thing with shadow people, I did a poll. I put it up on Facebook last week on a few different pages, and the question was, have you ever seen? I think it was, yeah. Have you ever seen a shadow person? And I'll have to say, well, thank you, Tina. Hello, Rhonda. I put this poll up. Have you ever seen a shadow person? On about 3 or 4 different pages, and it's really weird. 90% of people have seen a shadow person in some way, shadow person or a creature. And I think that was pretty awesome. I didn't think it would come in at 90%. I thought it'd be like about 80, maybe about 80. But I guess the shadow people are making their presence known to everyone. So it's kind of like, it did surprise me that there's that overwhelming number of people that have encounters or experience with shadow people. I do know, doing research. Well, here, I'll read this. What I found on the internet here. What our shadow people have said. At first, they appear only out of the corner of your eye, and when you turn towards them to try and see what the shadow you're seeing, most times they're usually a figure, like a shadowed figure of like a man, usually. Looking at research. I don't know why it's always a man. I don't know, maybe we're creepy. Men like to hover in the shadows. I don't know. But it usually resembles a man. And the funny thing is, I actually have an experience with a shadow person. I mean, this was years ago, and it wasn't even on an investigation. It was actually in my own house. This is probably at least 8 years ago, maybe longer. I don't know, when you lay down to go to bed and you're not quite asleep yet. You're kind of like in that. You can still hear the noises around the house and that. You got your eyes closed, but and when you close your eyes, you can kind of still see the light through your eyelids when you're not quite asleep yet. And I was laying in my bed like this, just kind of relaxing, starting to doze off, and I didn't hear a noise, nothing. All of a sudden, it went real dark. And I was like, in my head, I was like, what the hell? So I opened my eyes, and there was at least a 6-foot man standing over me, shadow. My instinct wasn't that it was paranormal. I thought someone got into our house because we didn't have our big dogs at the time. So my instinct was, oh shit, I punched straight up like this, thinking I'm going to knock him back. As I punched straight up, I was starting to come out of the bed so I could jump the person. And instead, my hand went right through the shadow person, went right through, went out of the bed, rolled out, hit the wall, freaking his socket because I punched so hard. Hello, more people in the chat room. But I punched so hard because I thought it was a real person, not a shadow person, that I almost popped my shoulder out of socket. And my wife at the time scared the crap out of her because she was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "Holy crap! I thought someone foot shadow man standing over me. It blocked out the light from the living room, the night light out there, and everything." And once you started, because your adrenaline's pumping and all that, all of a sudden it started registering like, holy crap, this is a paranormal event just happened. And it's like, you start registering it like, holy crap, that was a freaking shadow person. And then it didn't freak me out. I was more excited, like, holy crap, that was awesome. But it was kind of weird because a lot of people that describe seeing shadow people, it's usually on investigations, in dark location, dark dream locations. Some that might be known for having negative energy in that. And this was right in my freaking bedroom, just to happen. And it was only that one time. I'd never seen him again. Nelson, the family, saw him. He didn't have a hat on, because we'll talk about that in a little bit. That's kind of a new thing going around. Not new thing, but more sightings of a shadow man with a hat. But yeah, it just investigations where you kind of see that shadow blur, like blob. It doesn't quite take the shape of a person, but you kind of see it moving around. And sometimes your eyes play tricks in the darkness, like your matrix seeing if you stare long enough in the dark, sometimes I start seeing stuff moving around. And I don't know if I just don't trust my eyes enough, that I'm not created it myself, because I've been staring so long that it missed the movement in that. But I have seen not total like outlines of a person, but like more like a shadow blob. Not blob. I don't want to say blob, because that sounds like lame. I don't even know what the word is. But hey, Sam. But yeah, investigation. I see more shadow. And I know a lot of people I've investigated with over the years. They've seen the same things. A lot of them have seen actual shadow people on investigations. Actually, that just popped in my head when I was back on a team called Fortig's team back in the day, like 2008. We were doing a hotel, and we were in the abandoned part of the hotel, or not abandoned. They were remodeling it and all that. They actually had to have their security walk inside there with us to make sure there was no homeless people and no gang members, because they had some gang stuff going on. We were down almost in Miami. We were down pretty south. Actually, it was Hollywood, Florida, which is near Miami. But we were down there, and they did the sweep. Nobody's there. So we're investigating in that. And the one lady that was part of my group, we're investigating. All of a sudden, I'm looking at her, and you can kind of, it wasn't totally dark in there. There was a little bit of little light in there. All of a sudden, her face just was like she's seen a ghost. But I was like, is everything okay? What's wrong? There's a person over there standing on the other side of those pallets. I can see their head. So I went around looking, and I don't see nobody now. And I go, do you still see him? She's like, no. I think ducked down behind the pallets. And I'm like, another incident. I didn't think it was paranormal. I thought maybe we missed somebody, or the security missed somebody in there, a homeless person, or just someone hanging out. So you know me, I grab a pipe that was laying on the ground, go walking over there, come around the corner of the things with my flashlight. There was nothing there. So yeah, she said it looked like a man was standing behind these pallets. You just kind of see the shoulders and his head, someone peeking up over. So I don't know what it is. Why the shadow people don't want to be seen completely? Like they're almost, or maybe they can't. I'm not sure. Doing the research on the shadow people or shadow person, shadow creatures, and that there wasn't a lot. Except I know someone put. Let me see. Let me check my notes here. Look all professional. Check my glasses. One guy's theory was sleep paralysis. This guy did a study on sleep paralysis, and he feels that's is what's making people see shadow people, the shadow persons, because they're in a sleep paralysis. Because I have heard people that say they couldn't move, their whole body was like paralyzed, or like something was sitting on them. And the guy's research said when you're in a sleep paralysis, you're awake, but you're not awake. You're still in the dream realm, but you're half and half. And he goes, that's why You feel like you're totally awake, but you're really not. And that's how he feels. That's why you're seeing a shadow person. And I don't want to say that's not true. It might have some backing to it. But like my experience, I didn't feel held down. I come right up out of that bed and I punched this person. Well, I thought it was a person, turned out to be a shadow person with no problem. I mean, yeah, I may have been starting to go into a part of a sleep there, but it was so real and just so dark. Like, it wasn't even see through. It was like a person blocking the light out. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, but I don't know. I try and be biased. I try to listen to all the different sides because I've always said once you sway one way or the other, being a total believer that everything's paranormal, every little freaking orb or knock at a location gotta be paranormal. But then if you go the other way, if you go the other way and nothing's paranormal, when you sway one way or the other, I feel that you're contaminating your own evidence. Because if you think everything's paranormal, then you're going to be the guy with 100 EVPs and everything. If you don't think anything ever is paranormal, then you never have anything. So I try and stay in the middle. That's why when people talk about sleep paralysis is the cause of shadow people and other theories that are more natural, I try and listen to their side. I don't just be like, oh, no, that can't be right. But then if I happen to talk to the person or someone that's talking about that, I say, you know what, my experience and some of my other friends' experience, we weren't held down or anything. Some people were wide awake, like the girl at the hotel saw that person behind the pallets. And me, wasn't held down. So I try and take it with a grain of salt. But sleep paralysis equals old hag, Sam said. The barking dog you heard is my awesome girlfriend Tina sending me a message that there's a question in the chat room. So I'm going to check it out. All right, Sam asked, do you think shadow people will interact or completely disappear when spotted? Well, just a little bit ago, I was talking about that, Sam. A lot of people report that pretty much you see them out of the corner of your eye. Most times when you turn towards them, they're totally gone. And if you do get a glimpse, they don't stay for long. They're usually just disappear. I haven't heard anyone, not of yet. I haven't had the experience. I know that. The shadow person, I've only had a couple experiences. That's why I wanted to talk about this subject tonight. It interests me because the more I look around and read up on stuff or research, there's more and more people having all these experiences. Like, I don't know if you were in a chat room in the beginning, if some people are just coming in. I did a poll on Facebook. Have you ever seen a shadow person? And it was crazy. It was a 90% people have seen a shadow person. I thought that was a really high number. I thought it would maybe be about 80% I was talking about. So it sure seems like a lot of people are seeing shadow persons all over the place. So I don't know. I haven't had experience to see it for very long. Like when my experience at my house, when I punched through it, it was gone, man. I went through it and it was gone. And I never seen a shadow person never showed up at my house again. I don't know if it's because I freaking punched it. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't show back up at someone's house if they punched me. I guess it'd be like, oh, what frig? I just was going to say hi, and this guy punched me, jump out of bed. Thank God I didn't grab the rock salt and the shotgun, right? I don't know if it works on shadow people or just on spirits and ghosts. I don't know. But yeah, that's a good question. If anyone else had experience in the chat room, let me know if you've seen a shadow person for longer. Now, not so much a shadow person. My friend Pam Richards, she used to be on my team. She was my psychic medium. We were doing an event a little north of my house here. We investigated I think it was like 6 or 7 locations in one night. People paid to come out, and we investigated all these locations. And the one was this bar. We had to wait till everybody got out, and we had some weird crap going on in there after these people left. That bar emptied out, and I looked around some experiences that were happening. There's a loud bang of metal near the bathrooms. And me joking around, I'm like, oh no, we got a drunkie in the bathroom. They must not have got him out. And I go in the bathroom, there's nothing going on. There's nobody there. I come back out, we're talking, doing our EVP session. Bam, another couple bangs, like someone's banging something off metal. I go in there again, in the ladies' bathroom this time. No one around. And there's no way. It's a little hallway. You can't get out. No way but past us. So I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Then later in the night, my friend Pam, she comes up to me and she's like, oh my God, you won't believe what happened in the kitchen of that bar. I'm like, what? She had a group of people. We had some lights, like flashlights on and all that. And we're doing an EVP session. And I keep asking people, hey, can you please, whoever's bouncing around, moving around, can you stop moving? And everybody in the group goes, none of us are moving. And she's like, what? Because his shadow was kind of like this, moving around, she said. And all of a sudden she goes, are you kidding me? And she looks back, and she said the shadow just kind of went, boop, 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 bounced around and gone. So technically, there you go. Actually, it wasn't my experience, but she saw it more than just fading away. But it wasn't a shape of a person. She called it a gremlin because she said it was small, like the size of a gremlin. Once it started bouncing around, she thought it was just like someone's head farther back in the group. So, but yeah, actually, she saw that straight on wall, and it bounced around a little bit and then took off. So, yeah, I guess you can have. See, all right, listen, I'm getting a little old here. I've done a lot of investigation, and I haven't done a show in a while. So now when I start talking about stuff, do you ever get that like a floodgates open and all these memories and experiences of other people I've been hanging out with have had? It's like, holy crap, I forgot about some of this stuff. But my dogs were barking, and let me see, the dogs. Oh, Tina has a story of a shadow person. Well, Tina, if you would like to call in and tell us your story, go ahead. All right. Sorry, I'm reading the chat room. I know Sam said we had one interact, which is cool. Just I guess that would have been interacting with my friend Pam, bouncing around in that instead of just fading away right away. And Jay said he had experience where it was completely interactive except for one. See, this is all stuff I keep learning here, which is awesome. I'm all about learning here. I've been doing this for a while, but like I tell people, when people try saying there's experts in our field, I don't think there's experts. I think there's people that are veterans that have experience. But how can you be an expert at a field that fluctuates every year? Some equipment is debunked. Some new equipment people didn't realize would work. Theories that everybody used for years, now all of a sudden that theory's out the window. It's not working. New theories people come up with. So I don't understand how you become an expert on something that fluctuates year to year. Different ideas in that. So that's the dogs barking. And let me see if there's another question in the chat room. That's Tina. You can call in. I'm gonna see if this works or not, and then if you want to give Sam or Jay my number, you can give them my number if they want to call in with their experience. That's cool. I'm all for that. This is anyone that knows me, I'm kind of a go with the flow type of guy. So it doesn't matter which way it goes. I wanted to talk about shadow people and creatures tonight. Tell you a little bit about my experience. Some people I want to actually, Jay. Oh, let's see if this works now. Hold on. All right, Tina. Are you talking?
Yeah, hello?
All right. This doesn't work. Oh, hold on. Bob's not tech savvy. How's that, Tina?
Neither is Tina because I still got YouTube playing on my phone. So.
Let me see if people can hear you. Say hi to everyone, Tina.
Hi, everybody.
Let me know in the chat room if you can hear Tina okay. This kind of new little thing we're doing here. So, what was your experience with a shadow person?
Okay, so we have a museum up here in Canada.
Yes.
And I used a lot of fundraisers at this museum. It's like a little village, and it's out in the woods. It's really, really super creepy, to be perfectly honest. It's a village made up of a bunch of different houses from all over our area.
Yeah.
Now, we were there doing a live. We were there doing a public event. I had. Sorry, I've got to mute this here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that a spirit?
No, we're good.
At least you know you can hear yourself.
Right? So I know everything's working. So I had myself and one of my fellow investigators standing at one end of a walkway, and about 500 feet up the walkway and to the left, my friend Jack and Andrew, who are investigators, were sitting at a building. And on the right-hand side, 500 feet away,
Awesome, Jay.
my friend Jason was at another building. So I went forward, I saw Jason at the building. I turned back to my partner Bridget. We were talking. I looked down the walkway, and there was a man standing underneath my post. But you could just see the shadow of him. It was a tall, slender guy, and I thought it was my friend Andrew. Jack yelled, and when I looked back, somebody had run across the walkway, and my friend Jason was standing beside me. So I didn't know who the person was at the end of it. I thought maybe it was Andrew, and then Jack and Andrew ran across the walkway following the shadow that ran. So we had Jason, who was right 500 feet away.
Okay.
Jack and Andrew were left 500 feet away. And myself and Bridget together, and all five of us saw the shadow figure under this lamppost and saw him run. So
you saw the shadow person run?
All three of us saw him run.
Really?
All five of us saw him run. As soon as Jack screamed out loud, like that, she goes, "I see a shadow!" And she started running. And as soon as you heard her say, "I see a shadow," this shadow figure took off across the field, went across the path and then across the field. It was the most bizarre thing that I've encountered with shadow people in all the years I've been doing this.
I have a question. Doing my research, they say most of the shadow people, it's so redundant, but the shadow people that people see, there's no like detail in them. It's just usually a dark black shadow. Was there any detail in the person?
You know what? The most I could say, he was probably about between 5'9" and 6 foot, slender. That's it.
And that's it? That's
all I could get out of them.
But see, that's cool, though, because a lot of the different sites I went to looking up the research and that, most everyone describes like you. They can tell you the height and whether they were slim, kind of husky or whatever. But there's never any facial or even, people when they see an apparition or a spirit in that, they describe old type clothes or things like that. But most shadow, there's no details at all. So that's kind of cool, though. You had a freaking running shadow person for me. That's cool.
Well, and I said that was the interactive part, right? Because as soon as Jack yelled, he went running, so he did interact with us. And I mean, with me being a psychic medium, it's very distinct difference between seeing an apparition or seeing with my mind's eye and being able to see someone in the clothes that they're wearing and whatnot. This was very distinctly just a shadow of a man.
It had to be cool for you, though, that all 5 people were screaming and yelling because they saw it. Because a lot of times, I've been on investigation with you. You see something, and we're all like, "What? What do you see? What are we looking at?"
Yeah, we also thought. We all went running into the field, and we couldn't find anything.
See, now
it was not a person.
See, that's a true investigator. You don't run the other way. You chase it. I'm like,
oh, I was well behind Jack. I was letting her get hit first.
Oh, what a trooper. Put your friend in the line of fire first.
Always.
So you got to be like me. You got to I look for some type of weapon. I get a pipe or something, so I'm ready to go.
Well, good. I'll stand behind you then the next time I see one.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for calling in. If you want to give...
I'm going to pop off and I'll let Sam or Jay call in.
Yeah, I'd like to hear their story because they've also, both of them have had interaction stories too. That's cool. So, all right, I will talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
See, that's awesome. People chiming in like this because, like I said, a lot of people haven't had interaction like that. I mean, someone screaming and scared the crap out of the shadow person instead of just fading away, it actually took off away from them. That's pretty cool because, like I was saying earlier, a lot of times when you actually see it dead on, a lot of times they either fade away or just kind of gone quick into the darker shadows. So that's pretty cool. I want to say I saw Heath said hi. There's some more people in the chat room. Welcome, welcome. We're having quite an awesome conversation here about shadow people. And right now, we had a few people in the chat room talking about actual interactions. And they're going to try and Tina's going to try and give my number to call in and see if we can get them on here and hear their story. If you're just coming in that, if you haven't subscribed to the page, please subscribe. And so you can always be up to date when I put new videos up. And it helps me too. The more subscribers in that, I can actually maybe make a couple bucks here and get a new laptop that's not almost 10 years old, and everything might run better. Might not have as many tech difficulties. But I forgot to ask Tina. Well, she would have mentioned it. I was talking about the Shadow Man that people are seeing more recently. Lots of sightings of the Shadow Man with the top hat. If anyone has any stories about that, they've seen the Shadow Man with the top hat. I want to know what that's about because the research I did here, it's not really a lot, just that people are seeing it. Not much about interaction or interacting with it. Well, one thing I did read though is it's funny how people have two totally different views. Some people look at the shadow person as a guardian, like watching over us, trying to lead us on the right path maybe, or keep us away from, I don't want to say evil, but negative stuff. But then on the other fence, you got people that are, these are totally evil entities, maybe even demonic. And it's just crazy how you can go from one spectrum to the other so drastic. There's no people in the middle like, well, maybe they're just passive aggressive. I don't know. It's either they're guardians watching over us and helping us, or they're demonic, crazed, negative entities out to suck us in. I don't know. Suck away our light and become total darkness. I mean, I guess that would make a good movie. I think they had a movie stay in the light or something because these shadow things. But it just amazes me when you start looking around at different people's websites and different researches people have put up about it. It's just funny how you can go from one extreme to the other. My experience, I can't say if my shadow guy was negative or positive because it was such a quick experience encounter. And technically, if anybody was negative, it was probably me because my first instinct was I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to read the chat room because it distracts me, but my first instinct was to punch the person. Now, see, if I didn't think it was someone that broke in my house, real person, I wouldn't have punched. I would have probably just tried getting some type of recording device or camera or something to try and catch some evidence. But it was just such a spur of the moment, a quick event that happened. My main instinct was to protect the family. So I guess I was the negative side of that. Maybe he was just going to say hi to me, and maybe he's going to tuck me in. I don't know. But I hope everyone's enjoying the first show back. So far, I haven't seen anyone put in the room about the sound or anything. When Tina was on, I heard it was sounding pretty good. I'm trying to read the room. Rhonda said she had a little girl show up like a shadow person. She was murdered a long time ago. Now, yes, I am ready for Sam. If he wants to call in and talk about his experience of interacting with shadow person, definitely call in, Sam. I'll get you on speaker here. Now, that's different. Seeing Shadow Girl, like I was talking about earlier, most people talk about, like Tina's description, it's usually a man. You don't see too many shadows of children. Now a lot of my friends have seen apparitions of children, but not so much shadow people. So that's kind of cool. All right, we got a call coming in. Hey Sam, how you doing tonight? You can't hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I thought it was funny. You said you can't hear me. I'm like, well, how did you hear that I said something?
No, I had to turn off my iPad so I could know that I was listening on the phone.
Oh, you know, I'd be like Tina speaking with her, as Jay put in the room. She was speaking with her past self of 3 seconds ago.
Yes, I like to hear myself talk. So, you know, it's nice to hear your own voice.
Yeah, sometimes, right?
Not really. I hate the sound of my voice, but you know, whatever.
I know, I'm the same way. So, you had put in the chat room that the shadow person encounter that you actually interacted with.
Yeah, we were at a theater in Kentucky with my old team that I was on, and we were upstairs filming an episode of ours, and out of the corner of our eye, we could kind of see, you know, how the shadow person does the thing where they bounce in and out. Then you just see it for a second, and we all turned to look, and we were like, "Do you see that in the doorway?" And we all looked, and we were like, "Oh, it was just, you know, the corner of our eye." And we all turned back around, saw it again, and it went on for probably 5 minutes.
Really?
And it was the same thing. So as we just kind of like, okay, one person at a time, just kind of, you know, doing it. If we just didn't completely turn our heads all the way, you could see the outline of the person.
I'm losing you, Sam. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
You got really quiet. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I can't hear you. Yeah, that's a little better. No, you're gone again, Sam.
Jesus, what is it?
Maybe someone don't want to hear there. Yeah, that's loud. There you go.
All right, the ghosts in my house don't like for me to tell stories.
Hey, I was just gonna joke saying, hey, sometimes people don't want to let the story be heard by everybody.
Usually whenever I try to tell ghost stories, they don't like it at all.
Is it because you're not talking about them?
It very well could be.
They're getting jealous.
I never know which one it is,
So, all right, you were saying it was going on for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did 5 minutes. It was kind of like we would turn our heads to the left, and they would poke their head around the corner. We would turn to the right, and he would turn his head to the left. But, you could tell that it wasn't, that they were moving their head as we were turning ours to the other direction. But you could tell that it wasn't one of those like tricks of the eye, but it was an actual shadow person because you could make out the head, the neck, and the shoulders.
It sounds like almost like they were playing like a game with you.
Right. Like I said, like hide and seek or peekaboo or something like that. Yeah. It was an interesting interaction. The first time I've had one, usually when I see one, they duck around the corner or they vanish.
Now, when the ones like that, like I was talking about earlier, I've seen that a lot at, commercial locations you're investigating, but it wasn't so much shadow person. It was more, I hate to say it this way, but like a shadow blob almost. Like it wasn't really at the shoulders and head. It was more like just a blob cooking. Once you turned your head to look at it, it was gone.
Right. Is
that what you're talking about? Or was it actually, you actually saw like out of the corner of your eye, it looked like a person was standing there?
It was an actual person, like
really
the shape of a person. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's how I usually see most of that's how I see shadow people, is in the shape of a person.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool though, but 5 minutes.
I'm a medium as well, so like I see them as a person.
Oh, you're a medium too?
Yes.
See, that's why I was joking with Tina. I told her she had to be excited that other people were screaming and yelling. It's like, did you see that? Because usually when I'm with Tina investigating, she sees something, she's seeing it with her third eye, and we're all like, where are you seeing it? She's like, it's right there. And we're all like, we don't see it. So that had to be cool for her to be able to have everyone else running.
That's why it's fun to work with Tina, because we're like, you don't see that?
Yeah, at least when you're with Tina, at least you have a partner. You both see it. Well, at least there's another person that sees. I'm not totally crazy, right? Okay. Hey, I got another caller going to come in. Want to talk about interaction. I appreciate calling in, Sam. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. It's all about, I feel everybody in the paranormal field has a voice that needs to be heard. I don't care if you've been on TV or you've been 1 year in the field or been 50 years in the field. Everyone's voice, I think, should be heard. So thank you for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
You have a good night, man.
You too, there.
All right. Bye. Very cool. Thank you, Sam. All right. We have another caller. Tina, they can call in. This is cool. I wasn't expecting to do calls on that tonight. I just had my phone here for to get messages. So this is cool. People calling in. I hope everyone can hear them good because I wasn't ready to I hadn't tested this part doing my speakerphone. I did have this. I just happen to have this speaker here for investigating for my ghost box. So let's see. Can you hear me, Rhonda? Hello? Rhonda? I know I did my tech right. I press. Let me do it again. Rhonda, can you hear me? Hello? All right. Rhonda, try back again. I don't know if that's how many bars am I getting here? It's kind of hurting. I got maybe 3 bars. Try again, Rhonda, and we'll see if we can get your experience with shadow people. And I know when I do the next live show, I'm going to set this up a little different. I'll listen back through to see how it sounded. But I love the interaction tonight. If anybody in the chat room or anybody who's watching, if you've had experience with a shadow person with a top hat, let me know about that, because I really want to know why it's a top hat. Because that's more detail. Usually with a shadow person, there's not much detail. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that might be my phone. Yeah, because I didn't have no bars there for a minute. Oh, Rhonda, you can hear. Oh, here we go. Let's see if Rhonda. Can you hear me, Rhonda?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good.
How are you doing tonight?
Good. Really good.
Oh, you're coming through really good now. I like it. So,
Good. Great.
what was your experience or encounter with a shadow person?
We actually, at the Eagles Club in Flat Rock, Michigan, we had several malevolent things that were there. And I think the little girl would show up like a shadow person because she was hiding from them.
Okay.
And when we cleansed the place, we actually took a picture of her, and that's how, and you can even see her in the picture. She looks like a black shadow person, a child size. And it's really weird. I went back in there on another time. She wasn't afraid to come out anymore once we got rid of the malevolent entities out of the building. And I chatted with her for like 2 hours, and she told me how she was murdered, who murdered her, but for some reason that's how she always showed up as a shadow person.
And I take it, are you a psychic medium too?
I am an intuitive empath.
Okay. I'm still learning side. Tina's teaching me side. What does that mean? I know the empath part. What's the other?
I can feel the energy of a person, and I get like flashes of information.
Okay.
But I don't see them and talk to them like a regular medium does.
That's cool, because I've always told people when they ask about they ask if I'm sensitive. I think everybody's sensitive in some way, just different types. Like how you're saying you get flashes and that you don't actually see them or actually talk with them. I don't communicate at all. I don't hear the messages in that, but I see things ahead of time, and like I get I can find things. If I relax myself enough, I get an image in my head of if we're trying to find, or someone's trying to find an object or something. I haven't honed it yet, because as Tina will tell everybody, I have ADHD. I can't meditate. So
yeah, it's hard. It's really hard.
So I haven't honed my skill. It just, a lot of times it works pretty good, but I always tell people, I think people are sensitive in certain ways. Think about it. People use their sixth sense, or, that gut instinct to go when you're investigating. That's kind of being sensitive, You're using your instinct.
Well, I'll get information that I don't understand how I know it. I just know it. Like, sometimes it'll be a name. Sometimes it could be just like information about something. Like, give an example. If I feel an energy, let's say I feel an energy of a male spirit, and I'll say, I'll be like, "What? How old are you?" And then, like, all of a sudden, I get a number, and then I'll tell the medium that's with me, and she'll be like, "You're spot on."
See, that's cool. I tell you what, this lady Pam Richards that was on my team when I first started with her, she was the same way. When we go to locations, she could feel the energy, whether it was male, female, or a child. And then about a year working with her, all of a sudden, like a light switch flicked on, and then bam, she was getting messages, seeing things. So maybe the switch will click on at some point. You never know.
It's intensifying. I do try to meditate. It's really difficult. And I do Reiki. In between the two, it's really enhanced my gift in the last year immensely.
Well, I know Tina says, it's a lot of hard work of trying to train yourself to do it. And I know, I don't know if you know Scotty Rourke. Yeah. I haven't talked to Scotty in so long, but Scotty is such an awesome person. He says the same thing. It's a lot of work hone your skill. It's kind of funny to say it like that, but because Scotty thinks the same way I do, that everybody's sensitive in certain ways. Like people have said, "Oh, is there fake mediums?" I go, "No, but there's mediums that, as Scotty put it in baseball terms, you got some mediums that are in the beer league, some in the farm league, and then you got major league. Sometimes you got the beer league trying to be major league mediums." So Scotty always said they have the ability, they just haven't progressed it enough yet or worked on it enough.
Yeah. Well, another thing that's really bad in society, they always make you feel like if you know something you're not supposed to know, like it's so taboo and it's such a horrible thing, and don't do that or don't act like that or stop that. And unfortunately, the reason why it's taken me so long to even figure out what my gift was is because I had people throughout my life that made me doubt it constantly. And then finally, I just said, you know what? I've had enough. I'm just going to trust my instinct 100%. And it's been amazing. I can't even begin to explain how amazing it's been when you shut the world out and you just don't listen to anything they say and you just go 100% with your instinct.
That's what you got to believe in yourself. That's a big thing. It's a big thing. Confidence. It's once you get that confidence in yourself, I guarantee you'll start seeing yourself open more. Because I've heard it. Because I have a lot of different friends that are psychic mediums and that, and hearing their stories as they gain more confidence. Next thing you know, their ability, they started doing more, hearing more in that. And I know what you're saying. There's a lot of people out there that want to, oh, no, you don't know what you're doing, this and that. And just stay confident. If you feel confident in yourself, just keep going with it. But just stay open-minded to people's critiques and that.
Yes.
Because I always say, I've been doing this for 20-some years, and I still listen to these stories and listen to their theories and that. I don't care if you've been in the paranormal for 1 year or been in it for 30 or 40 years. You're always learning, it seems, in this field.
Yes, and my belief system is not just with ghosts, so I think that helps me a lot because I'm so open-minded about so many different things.
See, that's awesome.
It's really helpful. When somebody says something, I want to believe them because that was always my biggest problem growing up, is that you try to say something and nobody wanted to hear you, nobody wanted to believe you, but I wasn't lying.
Well, I know nowadays I joke around when people talk about try and talk bad about paranormal shows. I try and say the paranormal shows you see on TV are for entertainment, but the one thing is they've made the paranormal mainstream. 10 years ago, 12 ago,
Absolutely.
You couldn't talk about some of the stuff we talk out in public with people because they would think you were crazy. I mean, nowadays I hear people. I was sitting at dinner at a restaurant and I hear people talking about, man, I heard noises last night in my apartment. What do you think about? I think I got ghosts in there, something going on. I don't know. And I'm like, really? People are talking like this is at a dinner out in the open.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we get a lot of cases. My team does home. We do home investigations.
Yes.
And we're averaging at like one a week.
See, that's cool. I haven't done a residential in so long. I just haven't gotten a call. I always tell people, my friends that have teams in my area, if they need help, hit me up. I'll come to residentials. I just not being mean. A lot of residentials, I don't know if it was, I'm in Florida. A lot of them, I hate to be mean, but a lot of these people were just crazy. Like they watched too many horror movies. Some of the stuff they were doing.
I don't think we get not a lot, but we do have the ones that I think are to somehow, some way, they think they're going to get 15 minutes of fame.
Yes.
Or something. And they actually get some kind of thrill of having team. Like, look, you don't have a problem, you don't actually help them with their problem, but they'll do something purposely to cause the problem again so they can hurt them have another team because somehow they get a thrill of having the team there.
Yes, I've had that where...
It's really weird.
Oh, it's very weird because I remember one time doing a residential. We pull up, all these people come out of the house. The lady of the house had her mother, her grandmother, her aunts, her cousin, all these ladies. Oh my God, they're here, they're here. where's the cameras and that? I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, aren't you guys going to film and all that? I go, no, we're just investigating. I mean, we got some little
Right.
video cameras, and they're like, oh. And these ladies, I don't know if they thought they were going to be on TV or we were part of one of the TV programs. I was like, they acted like we were superstars. I actually had to ask them, I go, I only need like one person here that's actually the homeowner? Okay. They all left. But
Right, yes. Yes. We need like basically almost like a sterile environment. No children, no animals, like 1 to 2 people in the home, and that's it.
Yeah, I definitely, and if there's children involved, I want children there to see what's going on, to hear their side too. But I don't know, like you said, though, it's funny though. Some people think they're going to get the 15 minutes of fame, and if you get 2 or 3 teams coming in, then you might get noticed. We had to have 3 teams because it was so bad. But like you're saying, it wasn't really that bad. Is you kept inviting it back.
Yeah, well, I'm fortunate because I actually belong. Our team actually belongs to the Michigan Paranormal Association, and what we do is that we ask straight up, like if somebody comes to your house, if you work with another team, if they say yes, then we want to know why you haven't called that team back.
Yeah, why haven't they followed up?
They will put on that team, hey, we've got this person, and they've already stated they've had 2 teams who work with them, so you can tell us what happened.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to waste, we volunteer our time. Nobody's getting paid to do this. So we're not in it to just like be somebody's thrill seeker. You know what I'm saying? You're there to really help them, and if they're not genuine about getting help, nobody wants to waste their time doing that.
Yeah, they don't understand that we're all nonprofit. We don't charge to go out residentials. We don't charge to come out. It's on our own gas money, our own time. They don't realize. They think we're getting paid. You know how many people have asked me over the years when I say I do paranormal investigation, they're like, oh, is that your full-time job? I'm like, job? I go, no, it's my...
Yeah.
It's like...
We have people, new people that join the team, they're like, how much do we get paid? And you're just looking at them like, paid. And it's like, no, we don't. No, you do this because you want to help people, not because you're getting paid.
Yeah, that's funny. How much are you getting paid? I go, the same amount I am. And they're like, oh my God, you're the founder of the team. I go, yes, $0. All right, listen, I don't mean to cut you off, but I saw a thing in the chat room. Someone wants to try and Skype in from Canada.
Okay.
So I got Skype on my phone. We'll see if this works, but thank you for calling in and sharing your story with us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You have an awesome night.
Have a good night.
Bye. Oh, that's very cool. Thank you, Rhonda, for sharing your stories and chatting with me. This is so crazy. This is not what I expected to do tonight. I just figured I'd talk about shadow people and not get people calling in. This is awesome. All right. Tina, if you want to let the person know my Skype, I got Skype on my phone. I'm worried it's going to, you know what? Hold on. Tina, don't do Skype. I'm afraid it's going to knock my live stream off. So until I perfect the Skype, I can't do Skype tonight. But I wanted to say, I didn't get to say, I didn't want to cut off Rhonda when she was talking, but hey, Jason, I saw you say hello in there. And I am bad with name. I think that says Chantel Reiner. Thanks for talking in the chat room too. And I agree. Trust your gut instinct. If Jay wants to be the last one to call in, because I didn't realize it's already 10 o'clock, man. We've like blown through this, but I'm not with a network. I'm on my own YouTube. We can go a little bit longer. If Jay wants to call in and talk about his experience or interaction with the shadow person. If not, yeah, I'm worried, Jay, that. All right, let's see who this is. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, is that you, Jay?
Absolutely. What's wrong with you, Bob?
It didn't sound like your voice at first. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man, and I'm calling you from Skype.
Are you really? I was worried.
Yep.
that if that's what Tina was talking about. They would call me from Skype to my telephone. Okay, I was worried they were going to call my Skype, and it would knock me. It would knock me off.
Well, you can call from Skype. It's just I'm calling from my Skype because I'm using the headset and the microphone that I use for my broadcast every night. So.
Yes, Sam, this is a crazy stalker guy, but I like him. So tell us. Hey. Yeah, Tina said you got a sexy voice. This is crazy. I wasn't expecting. I was just expecting to talk a little bit about Shadow People, and I love. This is what I missed in the live shows, the interaction in the chat room, and now people calling in. I just love it. So I know you were way up in the chat room. You were mentioning you had some encounters with Shadow People where they interacted with you. How did they interact with you?
Well, the first one, it really didn't. It just kind of played games a little bit. I was at actually when we still involved with Post Town School. I was the only person in the building, and we were on the second floor. And if you've ever been there, there's that zigzag hallway that goes down 3 flights of the steps, and then make the right-hand turn and go down about an 80-foot hallway. Yeah. And it's just like it's head out and around the corner of the building. I was cleared out the other end of that main hallway. And I said, I said, hey, what are you doing in here? And it kind of dodged back and stuck his head back out around again. And I said, what are you doing in here? And it stepped back around the corner again. But the third time, it stepped out. I'm like, dude, you're not supposed to be in here. And I went towards it. And, of course, it's real dark through there. And the time I got from the end of that hallway to the other, it was around going down the 3 steps, and then they turned the other corner, which is 20 feet away. There's no way I could have got it around that quick. So I ran, jumped down the steps. The time I got to that corner, turned to get down that 80-foot hallway, it was cleared out the other end of that 80 feet in less than 3 seconds. But when I got to the wall, which was weird, because everybody thinks like, a shadow or something like that, a ghost goes through the wall. This didn't. When it got to the wall, it's like it just spread out. It's like it just fanned out in all directions across the wall and just dissipated, was gone. See, that's pretty cool.
So that's my turn. I looked around and I'm like, that's so, I'm by myself. That's so weird. I'm out of here.
Yeah, because probably your first instinct was that it wasn't paranormal, that someone freaking was in the building, wasn't supposed to, and you're kind of, hey, man.
Absolutely. I first thought it was an actual person. I thought it was dark enough in texture that it had mass. So I confronted it. That's what I do. I never ran from anything, and I went after it. But when it went from one end of an 80-foot hallway to the other in less than 3 seconds and then dissipated against the wall, I was like, holy, what the hell just happened?
See?
So it's a cool experience.
Yeah, that's cool, but like my experience, I didn't think it was so solid. I thought someone broke in my house. That's why my first instinct was punch straight up, and I was coming up out of the bed to get on top of the guy, and instead I went right through it, and it was gone. But it's funny though, us being paranormal investigators, we don't think first of, it's got to be something paranormal. We're like, oh, dude, that's someone in here. I'm going to take care of that.
Absolutely, and that's like you said, your instincts. You just take over your instincts.
Yeah.
I was to say he was the building, and it's dark consistency to it, and it looked like it was a solid back. It looked like he was a really person. So
yeah.
Cool.
Now,
amazing.
And then like at the end, like I said, then when you started processing it, when it was all done, you're like, holy crap, this was paranormal. This is awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, then that's when I kind of like realized that I was also only one in the building by myself. They just I'm like, I saw that. Nobody can verify this. This is just me. Nobody has to believe this whatsoever. And I expect people in the room to not believe it. But I know exactly what I experienced, and I was like, holy crap, this is, from that point on, I was what absolutely sunk the hook in me for paranormal investigating. I might as well just have cut a world record fish. I'm in. I'm on forever.
But it's an awesome story. That's why I tell people, when people start telling me a story, like when I was talking with Rhonda about residential, they're like, well, you're going to think I'm crazy. I'm like, I'm not going to think you're crazy. Just tell me your story. I want to hear it. Because I've heard so many different stories from investigators in different places. Now, I joke around about residential, some of the people being crazy, because you've done residentials, right?
A few of them, yeah.
Yeah. So you understand when someone starts talking a certain way, you're like, wow, this is really some of the description of a horror movie that was just out maybe a year ago, And that's when. Yep.
You have to find that shadow of truth.
Yep.
That's your job.
See, that's cool though. That yours, kind of like what Sam was talking about. It almost like the shadow person was playing with you guys, like a game to them. I guess you know what? If I was a shadow person, or when I cross over, I'm probably going to screw with people from the spirit world if I have a chance.
I tell people all the time. They ask me why I turn over rescue. I say, I want to find if there's a way to stay, and if there is, I'm messing with everybody for eternity.
I already told Tina, one of the shows down the road is going to be about why has no one ever seen a streaking ghost? Why they always clothes and always have old clothes on?
Yeah, because you know people died in the shower.
Yeah. Why haven't we seen anyone naked run around, or anybody from the 80s with a members only jacket? What the hell?
And you know what? There's lots of people that have having sex too, so you know they were naked then.
Yeah. Well, okay. Now that no one's seen the apparition, but I have had people, when I used to do the show back in the day, I had people share evidence from all around. They'd sent to me. I'd put their team name up and everything and share their evidence. I couldn't share the one evidence because it was so bad. It was, they were at a jail and it sounded like someone having clear out sex. And I even asked them, are you sure there was nobody outside the building or something? Because this sounds pretty real. This isn't. And they're like, no, it was crazy. There was nobody else around. And then I knew the people, but I thought, I think they're screwing with me. And I just told them, my program's kind of PG. I can't really do that. It's an awesome EVP if it's really ghost. But I was like,
heartbeat. Because to me, that's the holy grail. If I can get ghost porn, I'm happy.
The ghost porn. That'll be the next TV show. Ghost porn. People are like,
wait to see shadow figures and shadow hump. I'm out, man.
Do you know how? I bet you if I changed my YouTube channel to ghost porn, I'd probably have about 8,000 subscribers and all these views. Well, for a little bit, because people they'd be pressing on going, what the hell is this? There's no porn.
Yeah, but you know what? It got them in there. It gets to subscribe. So once you get that level, it gives you a whole new playing field with YouTube. So sometimes you just go to the game.
And I just do a video. I put a thumbnail of like a pretty girl. Then when it comes on, it's me. Gotcha. Catfish. I catfished you. Well,
Sam, I've been called some colorful names myself when I've been investigating. You should thought they were investigators.
Hey, before I met Tina, I got catfished a few times in the dating thing. I'm telling you, these filter things they use, I didn't know about them. I do now. Hey,
I'm catfishing right now, baby.
I got a few more minutes before I'm gonna log off here. I know. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Okay, when? Oh, okay. Actually, I'm not going to shut down. One more person wants to chime in. They're going to do the Skype thing like you did, calling in. So I appreciate you sharing the story. That was awesome.
Anytime, brother. I'm loving the show. Can't wait till you guys do more of them.
I know this is fun, man. I love just interacting and doing this. This is cool.
Hell yeah. Well, have a good night. Let the other person call in. We'll catch you guys later.
All right. Thank you, Jay. Talk to you later, man.
See ya.
Bye. All right. This will be the last call for tonight because we're already at 10:10 here. I'm hoping, I'm trying to look at my screen here. I think it's Chantel, if I'm saying it right. So go ahead and use the Skype to call in. As people know, I'm not very tech savvy. So my instinct was that they were going to Skype me and it would knock my live thing off. So I'm still learning because I forgot that you can actually Skype call to a regular phone. I used to do that on the old show when I had guests on. Duh. So, all right, Tina, let her. Oh, let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, was I saying your name right?
Chantal, yes.
Yes. Bob did not butcher the English language.
No, but the last name's a little awkward. It's Rayner.
Rayner. Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
How are you doing tonight?
Not too bad. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. This was totally different than what I pictured the show was going to go tonight. I just figured I'd talk a little bit, and I'm getting people calling in and telling their experiences and that. So this is cool. So, what do you want to talk about for your experience?
My aunt has a couple apparitions or spirits in her home, and she won't let me travel with them. But a couple months ago, I was over there visiting, and I saw a shadow person come out from her hallway area, and it went back in. So I was looking over there, and she was like, "What are you looking at?" I said, "Nothing." So I got up, and I followed it. I went down the hallway to try to see if I could catch its energy and whatnot. It didn't really show me itself again, but I did follow it down the hallway, and it kind of came right to me, and I felt this energy. It was pretty cool.
Really? Now, was when you saw it, did it look more like a man? Was it taller, or could you not tell?
It was probably between 4 to 5 feet tall, and I picked up it was a male energy right away. As far as that, I didn't see any. It wasn't like a distinctive shape. It was more like just a dark shadow that came out, kind of peeked, and then went back. Like it saw me there, and it wasn't really sure.
Yeah. So it was going like just peeking, like trying to see what you were up to.
Yeah.
See, that's cool.
It was definitely not negative. I've gone back there quite a few times, and during the Christmas holidays, he even tends to. I'm kind of like Tina. I can see things through my third eye.
Yes.
And it was kind of like he was constantly tapping on my shoulder. I'm here.
See, that's cool. What do you think?
Yeah.
I'll ask you the question. I was talking about it earlier, how extreme the sides are of, because you said you didn't feel it's negative, that it's negative. Because when I was researching,
No.
some people feel these shadow people are guardians watching or trying to direct us a certain way, or just watchers, just curious what we're doing. But then on the other spectrum, some people were saying, oh, they're these negative entities, demonic things that want to take your light energy or whatever away to increase their darkness. And I'm like, I think that's kind of extreme to go that direction. I mean, I don't want to doubt it, but I thought it was cool that you said you didn't feel it didn't feel negative to you.
No, it was really cool though when I did come to the end of the hallway and I could feel it go right through me. It was like a brisk, cool air, and I felt the energy. It kind of tingled, and then it was gone.
See, that's cool. Now, I try telling people when they have spirit activity going on in their house, and they right away want to say it's negative and it might be demonic. I always tell people, this is just my theory. I don't know if it's right, but if someone was a jackass on our side and they cross over, they don't become the Holy Ghost. They can still be a jackass on the afterlife or a negative person. Doesn't mean they're demonic or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I try telling people that, and maybe the same with these shadows. You might come across a negative one, or it might not be, not that they're negative. They might not be happy with you messing with them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess everybody's experience is individual to themselves, right? To what they're going through. My aunt and uncle know that there's things in their house. They see the orbs constantly. They see white shadows. They see dark shadows. So they're familiar. They know they're there. They don't feel threatened, and I never have when I've gone there. So I don't believe that they're negative. But everyone's situation is different, and I've learned anything last year is always trust it.
Yes, you said in the chat room, trust your gut when I was talking with Rhonda. I tell people that all the time, even when I do when I'm a guest investigator where people have paid to come out that have never investigated, I always tell them, they're like, well, what do you think we should do? I'm like, listen, if you get this gut feeling that you want to go in that back room to do an EVP session, oh, I lost her. Well, I'll finish the thing. I always tell people, go back to that room, do the EVP session. Something might be communicating with you on a different level, or trying to get your attention, and do it. I'm sorry, Chantel, I lost your call, but my phone sometimes the bars go out. I appreciate you calling in and telling your story because that was kind of cool. It was different. One thing I learned tonight with everybody. Nope, that's cool, Chantel. I thought it was my side. I know one. I'm going to fish it up tonight because we've been going for quite a while. The one thing I've learned tonight with these different stories, they're not all exactly the same. Some are a little bit similar, like Sam and Jay's, with how the spirits are almost playing games with them. And then, like Chantel said, the shadow person threw her, and she could feel that it was a positive energy and it wasn't bad. And like Tina's, 5 people saw it instead of just her, which I thought was awesome. It's so cool. This just fascinates me, this shadow people and creatures. We didn't get into the creature side. I'll have to do another show on shadow creatures, crawlers, and different things. But this was an awesome. The show went awesome. I appreciate everyone that came in the view. If you didn't get in the chat room, if you couldn't get in the chat room in that, like I said, please subscribe to the page. I think that'll get you in a chat or make your own YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. But this show went totally different than I thought it was going to be, but it was freaking awesome. It went great. I love the interaction. I love everyone's voice being heard. So thank you all for your participation tonight. And keep an eye, if you're on my Facebook or my Facebook, I'll be putting up, I decided on Sundays I'm going to put messages up, what's going on next for the YouTube. So stay tuned for the next Facebook Live to let you know what will be coming up next. And I appreciate you guys all coming out tonight. You guys all have an awesome Friday. Yes, the end of the work week. And like I used to say on the show back in the day, keep the positive energy flowing, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.